With both campaigns claiming the other's lying, we need a good, thorough fact check to set the record straight. With me now, Bernard Whitman, a Democratic strategist, and from Nashville, Chip Saltzman, a Republican strategist. Chip, let me begin with you. This is in response to the ad that you just saw coming from the Romney camp. The Obama people are saying this is part of what they call, quote, the big Bain lie. What's going on here, Chip?
Well, you know, maybe in Chicago-style politics, calling somebody a felon is just a slow Friday afternoon. But in presidential politics, I think it does dictate this is going to be a nasty, mean campaign. And I think as we kind of continually see what's happening, every time there's a bit of bad news like we did in the jobs report this week, the Obama campaign punches back on Bain. If there was a good news for Romney campaign, which was his fundraising numbers were back, we're good, they're going to bang on Bain. I think what we're going to see is a narrative that's going to, unfortunately, throughout the long, hot summer into the fall, they're just going to bang on Bain as many times as they can because they think they've got an issue that matters. I happen to disagree with them.
But hold
it's
on.
The jobs and the economy.
But Chip, what we've seen so far in this very nasty campaign, and this is a hot, nasty episode, is that the negative ads do seem to have some impact. I don't think they'd be doing this if it wasn't swaying voters in the swing states. So is it politically effective? You're a guy who was Mike Huckabee's campaign manager. What do you say? Is it effective? Is it working?
Well, we took a few shots at Mitt Romney, too, and we obviously didn't win, but neither did Mitt Romney. John McCain did 4 years ago. But I think Mitt Romney's run a very good campaign this time around. He obviously won a very tough nomination. And I think the Obama campaign are really maybe overplaying their cards here because at the end of the day, yeah, you might want to use Bain to attack, to kind of bring into question the voters, you know, what kind of businessman this guy was. But at the end of the day, a lot of that seems to be noise because it is about jobs and the economy. Now, the Romney campaign has to explain all this, but at the end of the day, it is about jobs and the economy that matter.
Bernard Whitman, do you think that this is an effective strategy to go after Bain in such an aggressive way? Basically say, this guy's a felon. When he signed that SEC form, he was lying.
Here's the bigger problem. The American people fundamentally do not know who Mitt Romney is. In 9 separate filings with the SEC, 9 of them, he was listed as a sole stockholder, the chairman, the CEO, and the president through 2002, despite repeatedly saying that he left in 1999 in order to avoid responsibility for some of the disastrous investments and jobs that were lost, bankruptcies that were created, outsourcing that was done between 1999 and 2002. We don't know who this guy is. He said he wasn't involved. Records show otherwise. And to further that, there's other things. He's got secret bank accounts in Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, and Bermuda.
Okay.
He won't release his tax returns. It leads up to a larger narrative of the American people are not sure if this guy's telling the truth, and fundamentally, who is this man?
Right, but what we've heard from the Romney campaign is that he was off running the Olympics, that this was just, you know, perfunctory. He signed the SEC form during that period, but that he was not running the company. What's wrong with that? That's a pretty simple explanation, isn't it, Bernard?
I don't know about you, but I think most of the American people, when they sign a legal document, especially one that's being submitted to the government, and they attest they are telling the truth, they make darn well certain that what they say is true. He signed his name 9 times saying that he, in fact, was the sole stock owner. And it's hard to make the argument that he had no involvement with the company when he was getting paid a 6-figure salary as an executive, and he was the only one that owned the company. So you can't have it both ways.
Chip, do you think that this, clearly what you just heard from Bernard, is the Obama team point? They are driving this like a train going, you know, without brakes. They're going home with this one. So, and it is the driving narrative right now of this campaign. So in that sense, it puts Romney on the defensive. At least that, even if you say you think it's a distraction from the big ticket item, the economy, there's no question. This has put Mitt Romney on the defensive. I see Republicans who are now saying, why isn't Romney doing a better job of fighting back?
Well, and I think we're going to see Romney start pushing back on this. And look, I think Mitt Romney's a pretty impressive guy, but there's no way he could have left Boston to run to Salt Lake City and run the Olympics and run Bain Capital. Look, it's pretty normal for a CEO or a stockholder to leave a business and go do something else and then receive income from that business several years out at passive income. That doesn't mean he was running it. It doesn't mean he was calling the shots. He was just receiving passive income from investments he'd done many years before. Pretty normal business, actually. And I think with the Romney people got to come back and push back on this hard and get control of this narrative.
Gentlemen, let's take a quick listen to what President Obama says was the biggest mistake of his first term.
The mistake of my first couple of years was thinking that this job was just about getting the policy right. And that's important. But, you know, the nature of this office is also to tell a story to the American people that gives them a sense of unity and purpose and optimism, especially during tough times.
Bernard, is that right? The only mistake he made is in how to tell the story? Come on, that's unbelievable.
What he said was the biggest mistake he made. And frankly, I think he got it right on policy, and here's why. And here's why I think he's right that he hasn't properly communicated to the American people. The truth is, and the facts are, we've had 28 straight months of job growth, 4.4 million jobs, including 500,000
Yeah, but we also
jobs.
have 8.2% unemployment.
Understood.
And we have an economy that's very slow to recover. And he's saying that the biggest mistake he made was storytelling?
But the American people do not understand all the benefits that this president has brought. For example, I don't think most people know that he is responsible for Americans saving $5.5 billion a year in credit card fees. He's responsible for seniors. Hold on. Seniors have saved $3.5 billion.
I've heard this, but he said storytelling.
You don't want to hear the truth.
Chip, do you think storytelling is the big problem in the first 4 years of Barack Obama?
Well, he certainly has told some big stories over the last 4 years. There's no question.
All right, gentlemen.
I think he's made a lot more mistakes than that.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both very much.